right, Alana, game 3 of this series, the Dodgers and the Braves from Dodger Stadium. After the Braves rolled to the first two, the Dodgers trying to get back on track tonight. And we say welcome inside. Joe Davis, Sorrel Hershiser, Kelly Tennant joins us in just a moment. And if the Dodgers are going to get in the win column in this series, they'll have to slow down this Atlanta offense. 18 runs in the first 2 games and charged up by Freddie Freeman.
Freddie Freeman, a 2-time All-Star, has been swinging a very hot bat. Since he returned from the DL, a wrist that he had broken, the power's there, the average is there. Absolutely amazing. Came into this year, a home run every 23 at-bats. The pace this year is almost 1 every 10.
It will be Rich Hill's responsibility to try and slow Freeman and the Braves down.
Yeah, Rich Hill's been throwing the ball very, very well this year, especially of late. The 5 starts, the last few have been great, and it's really been the abbreviated windup that's got him on track. Both pitches working now, the fastball and the curveball. And on the other side, Julio Teheran, this guy is a road warrior, 6-0 with a 2.53. Been throwing the ball great when he's on the road, struggled at home, but when he keeps it down and dots it, he's got great movement and great life.
One of the remarkable things about the Dodgers this season, they've not lost more than 3 in a row at any point, trying to avoid a 3-game losing streak tonight. For more, down to Kelly.
Absolutely, Joe. This team trying to get back on track after losing 2 in a row. I talked to Dave Roberts about that earlier. He, of course, has the utmost confidence in this team, especially with Rich Hill on the mound. And he had just come out of a hitters meeting when we talked, and he said, our guys are feeling good. And my message was them to just focus on quality at-bats and not be results-driven. So hopefully a turnaround for this group tonight, Joe.
Still the best record in baseball. Still the best record through 97 games since the World Championship season in 1955. It is game 3 between the Dodgers and the Braves, and it's next here on Sportsnet LA. Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Mazda. Driving matters. We are ready to rock at Dodger Stadium. Third game in a 4-game series between these teams. And here come the Dodgers behind Rich Hill, who tries to continue what has been a fabulous last month. Starting to look like the guy the Dodgers signed to the big contract this offseason. And he will try to slow the Braves tonight. They have been swinging hot bats over the first 2 nights of this series. 18 runs, taking game 1 6-3, taking last night's game 12-3. Here's their lineup presented by Honda. For the third time in as many nights, it has Ender Inciarte leading it off. Then Johan Camargo has had a nice series. Freddie Freeman and Matt Kemp sharing a moment before they hit 3 and 4. Tyler Flowers, the catcher, bats 5th, and Markakis in right. Sean Rodriguez at 3rd, and Dansby Swanson bats 8th and starts at short. You know, about a month ago, Rich Hill's ERA was over 5, but in his last 5 starts, a 174 earned run average.
Made an adjustment to his delivery. The windup looks a little bit more like his stretch, more compact, and the swing and miss rate on the fastball. You think Rich Hill, you think the curveball turned his career around, throwing it more often. Well, the last month, the fastballs had the best swing and miss rate in the big leagues. And more than that, the command came back, and he's throwing the most strikes of any starter in the big leagues over the last month.
Closed captioning in this one brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel. It seems backwards, though, that a guy with a fastball in the high 80s, low 90s would get more swings and misses than anyone in this day and age where you're seeing guys live in the mid to high 90s.
The curveball comes out of the sky, and so he gets the swing and miss rate on the fastballs high and away to righties, and then lefties, he can lock them up because they think it's going to be a curveball. All of a sudden they take it, and it's not. It's the fastball. So his fastball is very effective because of the good curveball.
Dodgers trying to avoid matching their season-long losing streak. They've not lost more than 3 in a row at any point. Even with the back-to-back losses, they've won 31 of their last 37 games. Braves, meanwhile, since early June, second best team in the National League behind the Dodgers. They've gone 25 and 18 in this stretch. We're ready. And off we go with strike 1.
So much fun the first pitch of a game. All throughout the day, you're amped up, you're ready to go. And that first pitch, you saw the shot of Guerin and Dave Roberts sitting there and go, okay, here we go.
Curve misses, and it's 1-1. The hay's in the barn at that point.
Yeah, just kind of like it changes your whole mentality, your whole body chemistry. Everything you've been looking forward to and preparing for is now on.
Inciarte pokes it foul, and it's 1-2. One of the best hitters in baseball, very quietly over the last year and a half or so. Came over from Arizona in the Shelby Miller deal. And this year he's 3rd in baseball in hits. One of the best left-handed hitters against left-handed pitching in the game. 2-2. Not afraid to choke up 4 or 5 inches on that bat and run the count full.
You said he's really good against lefties. Well, Rich Hill struggles against lefties. They actually hit him better than righties. 271 clip this year. I don't think it's been that good over the last 5 starts, but overall that's what it is. And righties only hitting a tick over 200 off of him.
Breaking ball gets him for the first out.
Inciarte doesn't really like it, but I'll tell you what, with a Rich Hill curveball, if you lose sight of it at any time, you're not going to know where it ends up as it catches the corner.
So 1 away, and the Dodger defense brought to you by Keck Medicine of USC. Logan Forsythe starting at 3rd. Justin Turner a little bit under the weather. And so Dave Roberts trying to get him off his feet, keep him hydrated. Perhaps available off of the bench tonight. And most likely back in there tomorrow, the final game of this series. It's ball 1 on Johan Camargo.
And with a day game tomorrow, that's kind of the tipping point of the decision. Maybe you can't get 2 games out of him, so which one do you want him in, and how are you going to juggle your personnel?
Camargo, fabulous young player, 23 years old, from Panama. And they have one of the best farm systems in baseball, but Camargo wasn't necessarily one of the guys you'd find at the top of those prospect lists. He's ahead of Hill 3-0. Give it an opportunity this year, though, and they say that he barrels everything up. Well, they told us that coming into the series, and then we have seen that with our own eyes this weekend. Strike one.
Very strong, compact frame. If he can keep his swing like that, he's going to hit a lot of balls hard over his career.
Full count. Plays some pretty good defense, too. Saved the day for the Braves in the first game of this series. And already some barking out of that first base dugout. Ron Kolpa shouting right back. It's Inciarte. A payoff.
Well, the Braves are engaged. It could have been somebody come in here and maybe you just walk right over, but they've won the first 2 games and they're officially showing that they're engaged in this game right away. 12 pitches in and they're barking.
Got the 48-year-old from St. Louis. Another 3-2. Camargo strikes out swinging and takes a knee in deference to Hill, who struck out the first 2.
Dodger fans will remember Adrian Beltre and his swing when he would drop to a knee like that. A lot of times Adrian could actually hit a home run and end up like that.
So he gets Inciarte looking with a curve. He gets Camargo swinging with a curve, and it's Freddie Freeman. How you want him with the bases empty. Strike one with a fastball. Quickly 0-2.
Interesting for Ron Kolpa. The home plate umpire now, when he makes a strike call, he raises the right arm and stares right in at the Atlanta bench. First 2 pitches here to Freddie.
Rich Hill strikes out the side, and he dropped the arm angle on that one. Something we've not seen in a few weeks. The Dodgers come to bat against Julio Teheran when you come back. Time they come up to the plate. Lineup brought to you by Honda. Chase Utley's at the top. That's Seager, Little different look, 3 and 4. Bellinger slides up a spot. Grandal hits cleanup. Logan Forsythe at third, batting 5th. And center field, Jock Peterson. Yasiel Puig up 1 spot in the order with Trace Thompson sliding in 8th. Julio Teheran has been a different guy away from Atlanta, where he has gotten rocked.
He has actually kept the ball up at home and down on the road, getting hurt by the home run ball at home. But the fastball here in July has been up about 2 miles an hour, so it doesn't really matter where he pitches now of late. That fastball 2-seamer down by the knees has been electric, and he can also throw the 4-seamer up by your shoulders. And he might not change that in an at-bat. He might change that over a series of the game, like first 3 innings, 2-seamers, next 3 innings, 4-seamers.
Chase Utley, the first man to see him. Dodger offense managing only 3 runs in each of the first 2 games of this series, but still #1 in the National League over the last couple of months. Ball 1. Utley started the opener, just barely missed a home run. Turned into a double off the top of the wall in right center. Teheran rocks and deals a 1-0, and Utley looks at a strike. 26 years old, out of Colombia. In his 7th year with Major League time, his 5th year as a full-time member of the rotation, and he's already twice been an All-Star. Lifted in the air to center, and Ciarte ranges back shy of the warning track for out #1. And he's part of this Atlanta defense, brought to you by Keck Medicine of USC. Won a Gold Glove in his first year in Atlanta.
He can really fly out there, runs great routes, very accurate routes. And you don't win a Gold Glove unless you have sure hands and can cover a lot of ground.
1-0 for 3 last night, snapped Corey Seager's 10-game hitting streak. Average still right around 300. Dodgers shortstop swings away at the first pitch, strike 1.
Corey loves that first pitch. He is geared in and ready to play from leaving the on-deck circle.
One and one.
How can Corey Seager get lost in the shuffle of all the Dodger stars, but he seems to be just that constant star where everybody else is having their shining moments. He's had his multi-home run games. He's done his thing at shortstop, which he really has become a steadying influence in the infield, where last year being schooled by Chase Utley on really how to play the position at the big league level, now really a steady hand out there.
On a 2-1 pitch, he looks at a strike.
You take for granted that he's going to be good every night. Take for granted that he's going to be able to do something clutch for you, and that's amazing to think about that over just a, what, year and a half?
Part of that, I think, is the personality. He is kind of the silent star, personality-wise. Never see him too high, never see him too low. Never, ever see him horsing around, which you would understand. He's only a 23-year-old. Just every day quietly goes about his business. Drills one to right center field. Forget about it. A monster home run from Corey Seager. He gets Teheran again. Got him twice last year. That gives the Dodgers a 1-0 lead tonight.
He doesn't seek the spotlight, but the spotlight finds him. And it's because of at-bats like this. Tremendous ability. Usually hits the ball to left field, but when he gets the head out because of the location and the aggressiveness, he can hit it a long way to right.
So the Dodgers with a first inning lead, and Cody Bellinger takes ball one. No home runs in any shortstop in LA Dodger history. He has 46 total, but one of them came while he was in the lineup at third. Bellinger now with a bullet that stabbed it short by Swanson.
Catcher number 9, Yasmani Grandal.
Yasmani Grandal hitting cleanup tonight with Bellinger sliding up to the 3-hole. Double in last night's game after he homered in the opener.
Guy on the mound that has dominated on the road, guy at the plate who has dominated at home.
That's ball one. Quietly, as we look at our Landover Performance Spotlight, Grandal has had a good start to this second half.
Really been a streaky hitter throughout his career, and he is on a hot streak right now. A lot of times with a catcher, it has to do with health or aches and pains. Yasmani has been outstanding behind the plate, calling the game and being the captain back there. It really is a lot of work mentally, and then you've got to not take that strain up to the batter's box.
Grandal cracks a bouncer that'll knife through the shift for a base hit.
Tehran gets what he wants, the ground ball, but Yasmani hits it so hard, even with 7 hops or so, it finds a hole.
Tehran looking up and down that lineup had to shudder because 4 of the 8 guys that he'll see have homered against him, and all in relatively small samples. For Logan Forsythe, 2 for 3 with a home run himself. Strike one. Oh, and 2. Corey Seager's home run has the Dodgers in front. Home runs have been an issue for the man on the mound in Tehran, but most of them have come at home. Put it all together, one of the highest home run rates in the National League. 1 and 2. He's built quite a resume in a short time. He started 4 consecutive opening days for the Braves. Mentioned those 2 All-Star games, and he's been somebody that a lot of teams have called about, with the Braves unloading the last couple years. He's walking off of the mound here, but doesn't get strike 3 from home plate umpire Ron Kolpa, who's not making any friends in that Braves dugout.
Oh, he sure isn't. On the offensive side, they think they are getting a wide strike zone. On the defensive side, they think they're getting a tight one.
And Inciarte, who didn't like the calls in the first inning, has a pretty good view out there in center field now. So he has to throw at least another pitch. And it's a full count. A 20-pitch first for Julio Tehran. Grandal will get a head start from first. There he goes. Here it comes, and Forsythe out in front of it off speed for strike 3. But the Dodgers take their first lead of the series on a Corey Seager home run. His 16th of the season. Off and rolling at Dodger Stadium. 1-0. Time now for the Unlimited Baseball break, brought to you by T-Mobile. Talked about it some right off of the top. We got off to a rough start for different reasons. First the blister, then the mechanics were off, but as everything's gotten in line, so have the numbers for him.
Yeah, new delivery, new outlook, and great performance, and it looks like he is on a roll to stay. Whatever he didn't have, he has found it all.
Struck out the side in the first inning. Second inning begins with Matt Kemp, and strike one. The former Dodger for almost a full decade, having a good series here. Scouting report coming in is that he was using the middle of the field, the opposite field, more than ever before. And a couple of those base hits have been in that direction. On the ground to short, Corey Seager. And Kemp the first out. Rich Hill has faced Atlanta 7 times in his career, but the last time was 4 years ago when he was out of the bullpen with the Indians, and has posted the best numbers against any National League team that he's faced more than once. Only teams that he's been better against in the NL, the Dodgers, only faced them once, and the Cubs only faced them once as well. Started his career there. Here's the catcher, Tyler Flowers. Ball one.
A little more respect for Tyler Flowers now with the new leg kick in his swing. And if he thinks he can't catch up to a good fastball, he'll choke up like he is right there. A lot more bat control when you choke up, of course. Cuts down on your leverage, but his power now is coming from a full load with the leg kick and the weight on the back leg as he gets ready to decide if he's going to swing or not.
A curve puts him in a 1-2 hole. Made a decision to add the leg kick on a whim. Last year, he was really struggling and got to the point where it's like, all right, might as well. Nothing else is working. Was leading off an inning, and while walking to the plate, decided he'd add it. Strikes out here. Hill has K'd for the first 5. Now that first at bat after the leg kick, he hit a home run, and so kept it, and it's changed his career at the plate.
That Audi pitch cast showing Rich Hill going up the ladder, and the fastball doesn't have high velocity, but in relationship to the slow curveball, it sneaks by hitters.
So Hill has retired the first 5 Braves, and here's Nick Markakis. He's bearing down on 2,000 career hits. That's ball one. 12 years in the majors, first 9 of those in Baltimore. One and one.
Always enjoyed watching Nick play. Just such a gamer. Most big leaguers give a lot of effort, their best effort.
It's a base hit into center.
With Markakis, you can tell, and especially when he was young and the beginning of his career, boy, he wore his emotions on his sleeve and just grounded out. You see the intensity in his eyes.
One of those guys that you probably appreciate much more if you watch him every day.
For sure, because even when he's in a slump, he's not going to change at all. Like the Utleys, the Forsythes, the Seagers, the guys on the Dodgers. Pretty much, you could almost go down the whole Dodger roster now, the way it's going.
Sean Rodriguez, who was just activated last week, still looking for his first hit of the season and his first hit in a Braves uniform. Although it is a good thing for him that he's even active at this point. A horrible car accident this offseason that forced him to have shoulder surgery, and the initial prognosis was that he would miss the whole year. Swats a curve the other way, and back-to-back 2-out singles for Atlanta. So the first hit of the season for Sean Rodriguez.
Shortstop number 7, Dansby Swanson.
Surprised they're not asking for the ball.
I'm sure somebody did over in the dugout, jokingly. Gives Dansby Swanson a 2-out opportunity. Former top overall pick of the Diamondbacks. Still trying to figure things out here with the Braves in his first full season in the bigs. Strike one. So Rich Hill's been really good.
He sure has. And you know what? When the info came down that he's thrown a lot better from the stretch, these numbers were definitely included, and that's what led him to abbreviating the windup, because he was much better with less of a delivery. Early on, when he was good from the stretch, for me, he was more effectively wild. He still wasn't really executing a lot of pitches. He was executing a little better, but now that he has really been on track, executing at a very high level.
Gets ahead of Swanson with a curve, 1-2.
The pacing and the look on his face now is more of one that is analyzing a plan and what he wants to do, compared to the pacing and the look on the face early in the year was lost.
Yeah. There's pain in those eyes early on. Didn't have anything to do with the blisters, that pain. Just pain searching to find himself again. Two on, 2 out, 1-2 gets him swinging, and Rich Hill has 5 Ks over the first 2 innings. Home run has the Dodgers in front 1-0. Welcome inside, Joe and Oral. And you were just mentioning during the commercial that You know, the Dodgers becoming more and more of a national story as this year goes on. You see a lot of national media coming into town trying to find the big story, and there are a lot of good ones, but there really is no like Showtime or Hollywood type story. There are just a lot of solid players on this team.
Really is, you know, a lot of blue collar, hard workers, kind of taking on the personality of Dave Roberts. Nobody seeking the spotlight. You know, the #1 pitcher in the world the last 10 years, Clayton Kershaw, he doesn't seek the spotlight. They're all very friendly with the media, but no one is making sure that the column is written about them, or no one is making sure that you take notice of what I did tonight. This is a unit, and they are not seeking any individual spotlights.
Jock Peterson to lead off the Dodger half of the second inning. Against the hard-throwing right-hander Julio Teheran. His first pitch of the second pops the mid-outside, ball one.
I would hate for an out-of-town columnist to come in here and try and divide them with highlighting one or two players and saying this is the reason they're winning. That is not going to happen with this team.
2-0. What do you got against out-of-town columnists, Oral?
I just want them to be really up-to-date on the story and dig deep and find out that this is a unit, and they are all on board, pulling for each other. The cheering in the dugout is real. And they pick each other up. It's real. We had a good inside look on that in the pregame show from Andre Ethier.
Peterson bounces one that's stabbed by Teheran for the first out.
Andre's got a unique perspective, you know, being hurt here but being in uniform and rehabbing and being around the guys, and has the inside information as they sit around the couch or right on the team bus or in the food room, has the information on what's going on as far as on the bench when they're there during the game. And his take on everything was this is one of the most powerful units he's ever been a part of, and he doesn't see them pulling apart in any way.
Well, when your normal 8-hitter has 18 home runs, I would say so. Strike one on Puig, who tonight bats 7th. Trace Thompson hitting 8th.
And one of the longest early hitting sessions I have ever seen in my career today, with Turner Ward and Manny Mota out there doing some interpreting.
Puig corks a line drive, base hit, and justifies that early work.
He was out there for a good 45 minutes or so, and it was 15, 20 pitches, and then it was a nice 5-minute discussion. Then it was 15, 20 more pitches, and working on different postures and things that he needs to do when he makes movements, and they were working on that, hitting the ball to the left side and not hitting it on the ground.
And for Turner Ward and Puig both, that has to give you some kind of warm feeling inside when specifically what you work on an hour before anybody else shows up on the field pays off in your first trip up there. Yeah, brings up Trace Thompson.
And the shot of Turner Ward had him with very little facial expression there, but I'll bet you he got goosebumps when that ball fell in. I mean, he lives and dies with these guys, and the relationship with Yasiel is extra close. Pretty much, Yasiel turned his offensive career over to Turner Ward with the 2.5, 3 years of struggles. Struggles especially in consistency. It's never been about talent.
Just trying to help Yasiel get gooder.
That's right.
As Turner would say. Here comes a 1-0 to Trace Thompson. That's ball 2. It is one of the more unique relationships you'll find. You talk about an odd couple. Yasiel Puig from Cuba, Turner Ward from Mobile, Alabama.
Even when Yasiel learned English, and he's pretty good at it, they still need an interpreter. And it's for Turner.
Yeah. I mean, you're not kidding, though. There's sometimes around the cage when he'll say something and the guys look at him like, what?
I need him to define the word or the phrase.
Thompson's homered against Teheran before. See if he gets one to drive on 2-0. Instead, he takes one that rides inside. 3 balls, no strikes. He is one of the 4 players in this lineup that is homered against Teheran. Rich Hill, not one of them. The pitcher on deck, green light if he wants it. He takes it and grounds it foul, strike one.
It's something you see from all hitters, not only young hitters. When they get the 3-0 green light and they get the pitch they want, they get out in front of it because they're just so amped up to get the green light and then get the pitch they want. They just spin out on it. Even in your 10th or 11th year, you fight that.
Good lead for Puig at first as a 3-1 comes home and Thompson cuts through it. Did you see from our Brian Hagan the note? I believe it was Nelson Cruz, when he puts a 3-0 pitch in play, is like 12 for 13 this year.
That's outstanding.
And you expect it to be high, right, if you're going to put a 3-0 pitch in play, but that's really good. There's a fair amount of luck in there. Thompson, after getting ahead 3-0, strikes out. That's the second for Tehran.
Our partner Nomar Garciaparra had an amazing average in 3-0 counts, if I remember, because he never got to them. But when he did, he had the green light and he would get hits.
Yeah, he was 1,000, like 3 for 3 lifetime,
yeah,
right?
I know. No, it was very rare on the count, but it was amazing, the batting average. I remember it was like close to 500, if I remember.
Hey, big news. Rich Hill's been working on his stance and his swing. This is much more upright.
Mentioned yesterday in the broadcast that he had a great round of BP, 4 and 5 line drives at a time, back to back to back. And I came up to him and I said, "What is going on with your swing?" He goes, working on a new approach. Got some work I got to put in. It's coming around.
Looks calm. Big bouncer. Tehran's got it. And the inning is over. Rich Hill pitching with a 1-0 lead. We'll head back out there for the third when you come back to Dodger Stadium.
The Dodgers with the early lead over the Braves. And guys, coming into this series, the Dodgers had won 7 games in a row while scoring first in each of those. And when I talked to the players about that, they said it gives them so much confidence when they're able to get on a guy early. So it's that domino effect from each hitter afterwards. And they also told me that this is a team that really likes to set the tone. They want to dictate and have control throughout the game. So scoring first makes a huge difference with this group.
And you saw the note there, Major League record for winning games where they hold any lead. 44 in a row when they take a lead at any point. 9-1-2 for the Braves in this third. Julio Tehran squares around and takes ball 1. He is a fabulous bunter, but that's normally in sacrifice situations. Rarely do you see him up there trying to bunt for a hit. 1-1. Slide foul, and it's 1-2. You don't have to think too far back to realize that you got to be careful with even pitchers that know how to swing it. Last night, Jaime Garcia's grand slam. First grand slam by a Braves pitcher since the first year that they moved to Atlanta in 1966.
On an 0-2 pitch.
Yeah. And it was not a cheapie. I mean, he got it all.
He was late on a couple fastballs from Alex Wood, and then all of a sudden you think, well, there's no way if he throws him another fastball he's going to catch up. Well, he started early, got the head out, and hit it right over the right center wall.
Tehran strikes out swinging for the first out of the third. This broke the thing open. Only other pitcher in Atlanta Braves history to hit a grand slam, Tony Cloninger, and he hit 2 in the same game. Not only was he the first pitcher to do it, he was the first player, period, in the National League to hit 2 grand slams in one game. 1966 at Candlestick Park. And add Jaime Garcia to that list. You asked me last night if they won that game.
Yeah.
I checked for you.
I hope so.
17-3.
And he probably got the W.
Yeah, I would think. Strike one on Inciarte.
Unless he hit 2 grand slams in the first 4 innings and didn't go 5.
That'd take a lot out of you rounding the bases like that.
Hey, we got a big lead. I'm going to get you out of there.
Inciarte took strike 3, called his first time, didn't like it, and was shouting at home plate umpire Ron Kolpa from the dugout in the next at bat. A curve is tapped foul, and it's 0-2. It's got to be at least a little bit awkward to head back up there for the first time after.
A lot of times when I was arguing with umpires or didn't agree with their strike calls, I didn't get that many at bats because it usually spiraled out of control and you were out of the game.
Right.
So you didn't have that awkward moment of coming up to the plate after you think the umpire has been too tight. I used to like to try and make up with them as I walked off the mound in between innings, like, you know, hey, gotcha, sorry about the reaction, or just give them a little comment so they get back on the same page emotionally, hopefully.
Say, hey, we're still boys, right?
Yeah, hey, we're still tight. Need any autographed balls, I'll send them over.
Jeez. Inciarte rolls it to Bellinger, and in a race to the bag, he'll win it. Did you say, hey, you want the 88 Oral Hershiser commemorative coin?
I didn't have one yet.
They said, yeah, and you said, hold on 30 years, and I'll make sure I get you one. 2 up and 2 down.
I
here
always
in the
used to laugh to guys pitchers that were getting like wide strike zones, like, are you sending over like a dozen autographed balls or what? I'd ask guys at the All-Star game, you get a pretty good strike zone.
How are you earning that?
Yeah, I always thought something was going on, especially at the Brave strike zone. We always thought it was really wide with Madison, Glavine, and Smoltz, that outside corner in their day.
Here's Johan Camargo. Or maybe they were just really good.
I think they were really good. And I think culturally the outside corner was bigger then, and I thought the inside corner was tighter.
Oh, 0-2. That strike zone's always been evolving.
It just seemed like there was a lot of focus on violence in sports coming through the 70s and early 80s, and it seemed like they didn't want us to pitch inside as much and to knock guys down and bench clearing brawls and, third man in hockey and all that kind of stuff. So it seemed like the strike zone shifted.
Camargo pulls one down the left field line for extra bases here with 2 out. Awkward moment down in the corner between security guard and Trace Thompson. Thankfully no collision. Camargo a 2-out double.
Number 5, Freddie Freeman.
Security guard last night threw the chair over the wall and climbed it. This one going into fair territory. Which way do I go? That's kind of fun.
It's like when you're walking down the aisle at the grocery store and head to head with somebody, you both go right, and then you both go left, and you both go right. The worst. Freddie Freeman, ball 1. Braves with a tying run in scoring position here in the third, and their best hitter at the plate. 14 games since the fractured wrist. and he's knocked in 13. On a 1-0. Looks at a fastball outside.
And as far as the schedule that the trainers and the doctors gave him, he even made it back like 2 to 3 weeks sooner than they thought. Just a very fast healer. It's one thing to come back and hit for average, be able to make contact. Another thing to come back early and hit for power. Coming into this year, 1 every 23 at-bats, he hit a home run, Freddie Freeman. He's right, just a tick over 1 every 10 at-bats this year.
Got one last night. Ahead of Hill here, 3-0.
Hey, you calculated out and said like once every 3 games, and I'm like, you're right. You know, it could even be every other day if the offense gets going, as far as getting him up to the plate 4 times one night and maybe 5 times the next.
Yeah, he missed 7 weeks, and he has 18 home runs. Even on a 3-0 count, chokes up and takes ball 4.
It's Cody Bellinger impact. You know, get Freddie Freeman back. All of a sudden, the offense goes. He brings power. Got Cody called up. All of a sudden, a spark to the Dodger offense and a lot more power.
Double and a walk with 2 outs, and Matt Kemp comes up with a chance to tie this game for Atlanta. First pitch curve, strike 1.
It's an example of why Rich Hill gets a lot of swings and misses on his fastball. That high curve ball that finds its way back to the top of the strike zone. That window of that pitch, if it's a fastball, you're going to swing and miss, or swinging at the high fastball.
1-1.
Looked like he was hoping to cut that ball and just came underneath it and missed completely.
Two and 1. The Hill's curveball is up in the zone 50% of the time. That's double the league average for curves that are up.
And I think that's why he struggles a little bit against left-handed hitters, because that would be more of a hanging curveball for a lefty where they can stay on it, where for the righty they can't determine that between the high fastball away and the breaking ball.
Sharp one there, 2-2.
Took some velocity off it too. Slowed it down, got it down. That's an art, to be able to slow the ball down but still keep a sharp break to it.
Rich Hill, when he's feeling good, loves to change the shape of that curve, change the speed, be creative. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2. Banged on the ground is short. Corey Seager goes the short way and will lead off the bottom of the 3rd for the Dodgers, having already hammered a home run to account for the night's scoring. The third inning with the Dodgers in front 1-0 on his home run. We look at our Coors Banquet timeless moment. 3 home runs against these Braves on June 3rd of last year. First 2 came against the man on the mound tonight, Julio Teheran. Teheran has allowed the 1 run on 3 hits so far. He's K2, no walks. Got Utley to fly to center his first time, but he struck it well. Was tracked down at the edge of the track by Inciarte. Starts him with a slow curve, strike 1.
Fastball sliders to righties from Teheran. Fastball curveball a little more often to lefties.
Utley turns on one down the right field line. Chase Utley starts the third with a home run. Chase Utley consistently reminds us that the Silver Foxes still got it.
Well, the protege, Corey Seager, had one in his first at bat. Now coming up to the plate. Now the role model hits one. Ties it up with Corey.
And brings up Corey Seager. Strike 1. And there's, of course, that great story from last year that we've told a couple times, but the competition they had to decide whether or not Chase Utley would have to hold up his end of the bargain, dyeing his hair black. Corey Seager had been begging him to do that. Wanted to see what Chase looked like in his early days. So he said, look, if I hit 2 home runs tonight, you've got to dye your hair black. And Utley says, oh, okay. I mean, you're pretty amazing, kid, but I'll take my chances. It's 1-2. Seager's first time up, what does he do? He homers and smiles his entire way around the bases. Chase Utley starts to think, you got to be kidding me. Corey's going to have 3 or 4 more at bats. He strikes out swinging here for the first out. So Utley says, all right, look, I'll dye my hair black if you hit 2, but if I hit 1 of my own, it cancels out 1 of yours. So you would then have to hit 3. Utley goes up there. What does he do? He homers. And so now Seager's saying, well, heck, I got to get a 3 home run game for you to dye your hair. He winds up homering again. And Chase Utley, being a good sport, dyed his hair anyways. Cody Bellinger rips another one right into the shift. Dansby Swanson has taken away 2 hits from him tonight.
Positioned perfectly.
Number 9,
Chase's hair still splashing around the gray. It looks like the gray is taking over.
I was thinking he could be a model for Just for Men touch of gray. Like, people pay for that look.
Yeah, they do. He wouldn't do the commercial, though.
No, he wouldn't.
He does not seek that light.
Base is empty, 2 gone. Grandal. Ball 1. But he'd be such an enthusiastic spokesman.
Okay.
1-1. Flowers sets the target away again. It's outside. 2 balls and a strike on Grandal. 9th time that he's hit cleanup this year, but the first time since early June that he's done so. With the Dodgers settling into Seager, Turner, Bellinger, 2 through 4. Waits on a breaking ball, hits it off the end of the bat to left. Matt Kemp, long run, and lays out to make the catch. Snapshot of the old Matt Kemp running the outfield grass at Dodger Stadium to take a hit away from Grandal. But there was no Robin. Chase Utley's solo shot, and after 3, it's 2-0. Sportsnet LA is brought to you by the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica, the new benchmark of minivans, and by Jack in the Box. Come try the new sweet or spicy barbecue bacon cheeseburger and chicken sandwich. Limited time only. Rich Hill back to work with a 2-0 lead. On to the middle innings here at Dodger Stadium. Joe, Orl, and Kelly as the Dodgers try to start a new winning streak. 66-31 overall. That is the best record for the Dodgers through 97 games since they moved to Los Angeles. You got to go back to 1955 when the Dodgers won the franchise's first World Championship. To find the last time they started that well. Tyler Flowers to lead off the fourth. One of the 6 Braves to strike out against Hill the first time through the order. And one of several Braves in the lineup that has a lot of pride about being on this roster. You got Matt Kemp, who hits cleanup. He grew up a Braves fan in Oklahoma, watching the Braves on TBS nationally. Dansby Swanson, who you saw there in the dugout, the starting shortstop. He's from the Atlanta area. Nick Markakis, who starts in right field. He's from Woodstock, Georgia. Grew up going to Braves games. And Tyler Flowers, a Georgia native as well. Catches the bottom of the zone, and it's 1-2. He was actually drafted by the Braves a long time ago, back in 2005. Then dealt to the White Sox. That's where he started his career. Spent his first 7 seasons in Chicago. And then signed a 2-year deal with the Braves as a backup to A.J. Pierzynski, but now sharing time as a starter and looking at strike 3 to open the fourth.
Number 22, Nick Markakis.
Rich Hill showing a lot of confidence in his fastball, even starting hitters out almost 90% of the time with fastballs. Normally that ratio for him is about 50-50 with curveballs.
Markakis has one of the 3 Braves hits in this one. He threatened each of the last 2 innings. But as Rich Hill has done so many times this year, he's been able to get out of each situation. One ball, 1 strike. Two and one.
And one thing I love about this Rich Hill abbreviated windup is, yes, it's like his stretch, but it's very easy for him when he starts to move and puts his kick leg into his back leg to keep the weight on the inside of his back leg. That's where your rotators are. That's where the engines are to your legs. If you let the weight when you kick your leg as a pitcher or any kind of athlete to the back of the leg, if it gets to the back of the leg and the back of the hip, those are the muscles you stand on. Those are things that you're stagnant. But the things that make you go forward and allow you to rotate your hips out, it's having the weight on the inside of the leg.
Walks Markakis.
MLB TV Premium is back and better than ever. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus, get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
With 1 out, here's Sean Rodriguez representing the tying run for the Braves. Singled in the 2nd inning, was his first hit in a Braves uniform. We mentioned the auto accident that he was in this offseason that almost cost him this whole year. Wasn't just him, but his wife and his 4 children were in the car as well. Kids were nicked up, but okay. His wife, big picture, okay, but broke several bones. Spent a long time in a wheelchair. Softly hit foul, and it's 0-2. They were in Miami, which was their hometown during the off seasons. Just driving down the road. Somebody stole a cop car. Had just stolen a cop car and was flying down the street and T-boned the Rodriguez car.
Oh, they are fortunate. That's all that happened, with a few broken bones and that.
Driver of the cop car not so fortunate. Cop car burst into flames, and that person lost his life. Hunter at first with one out and an 0-2. Curve popped up. Jock Peterson calls off Yasiel Puig. Comes over to say hey, 2 out.
Number 7, Dansby Swanson.
Dansby Swanson searching right now. 2 for his last 36. And there have been people that have argued he needs to go back to AAA for a little more seasoning. And not even as much seasoning as just a reset of the confidence. Very confident kid that you could understand if he'd lost some of that at this point. Generous strike, 0-1.
We've seen that with some of our guys. Chris Taylor saying it was good that after the swing changes that he went down to the minor leagues coming out of spring training. Grant Dayton has admitted that going down to AAA helped him out to perform a little bit and get your mechanics fixed without as much pressure at the big league level. Josh Fields helped him out a little bit. Doesn't feel good when it happens, but in the end result, the organization has their best interest at heart, but your best interest at heart, because they want you to get it back together and come up and contribute.
A bit of a cross up there, maybe. 2-1. I don't know how crossed up you can get, though, when you only throw 2 pitches.
I don't know. Maybe Yasmani all of a sudden remembered, oh, yeah, I did put down fastball. And there's a lot of fluids back there, and these hot nights, you never know. You can get a little foggy.
2-2. It looked like there was a tiny smirk there on Yasmani's face right before that pitch, too.
Because Rich did a double take like, did I just cross you up? I thought I saw a fastball in. Yasmani will have some clanks every once in a while, not because he can't catch or anything, because he's so good at framing that he takes the risk of looking like a bad catcher by trying to get a ball to be a strike by having his glove on the plate.
Strike 3 called, and Rich Hill racking him up tonight. 8 strikeouts through 4 shutout innings and a 2-0 lead. Solo homers from Seager and Utley have the Dodgers in front 2-0. And Friday on an all-new backstage Dodgers, Justin Turner stops by the event Pantone 294 through in Miami. And Brock Stewart has a homecoming to Illinois when the Dodgers take on the White Sox. Presented by Hankook Tire next Friday after the postgame on Sportsnet LA. Julio Teheran, a 26-year-old out of Colombia. Been an all-star twice. Debuted in the majors as the top prospect in Atlanta's system when he was only 20 years old. Pitched in a handful of games that year and in the next season, but been a full-time member of the rotation for 5 years running now. And he's still only 26. Logan Forsythe opens the fourth for the Dodgers and takes ball one. Across those 5 full seasons, Teheran has struggled mightily against the Dodgers. And that includes his only career postseason start in this ballpark. Got lit up. 2-0. Actually, they say that Forsythe offered, and it's 1-1. Game 3 of the division series, 2013. Teheran gave up 6 runs on 8 hits and failed to complete the 3rd inning. Overall, he's faced the Dodgers 7 times. He's 0-6, and his ERA is north of 6. Sometimes just some teams that have your number. The Dodgers have had his. Oh, just up 2-2. Forsythe down swinging, and the 4th punch out for Teheran.
That slider is not a big one, and it's not a sweeper at all, but it's tight and late. Usually when a ball is like that, it's really hard to recognize the spin. Sometimes the loopier the spin, the bigger the break.
With 1 out and the base is empty, here's Jock Peterson. Jock looking for his first hit in a week. He's got it. Off of Swanson's glove for a 1-out single.
Cody Bellinger's probably wondering why Swanson didn't play one of his like that. He's been picking on him with that shift. They put the shortstop on the second base side. Cody hit a line out there, and a ground ball like that one, Swanson just can't handle the 3rd hot one.
Peterson aboard, and Puig comes up with the Dodgers in front 2-0. Puig put in all that extra work hours before the game today with Turner Ward and paid it off with a base hit his first time up. Ball 1.
They're working really hard on Yasiel's posture, but not really at the beginning of the swing as much as when he goes to attack the baseball. And what you want the first movements to be, so that creates a better bat path for him. And one that'll keep him on more pitches so that he can cover more areas of the plate. He's done a great job growing with his plate discipline on sliders low and away this year. But then people are starting to attack him inside a little bit more, and they're trying to get to a point where they can hit that ball on the inner half and not roll over it.
Sitting pretty here, waiting on a 2-0. Yasiel Puig takes a strike. And a lot of times those work together, right? Pitches down and away, and the pitches pounding the in. So the fact that he's gotten more discipline on the pitches down and away, that's half of the battle with those pitches pounding him in.
Yeah, if you start extending and reaching for balls off the plate away as a right-hander, you're going to end up being vulnerable and rolling over stuff or getting jammed on stuff inside. So in laying off that pitch, now it gives him more confidence to build a swing that can cover just strikes. I don't have to cover the ball 6 inches off the plate, because that's a ball that I've now learned to recognize and lay off.
A 2-1, and Puig fouls it back 2-2.
Great example right there of that exact pitch, if we can replay it. And Yasiel was still in his posture and had enough swing to foul it off. He says, yes, it's going to end up being a strike. I have enough swing, but you can see that anything farther away than that, he would have completely lost his balance. But he recognized it in time and had enough swing to maybe hit it hard.
Now a 2-2, and he takes ball 3. These are the little things that you didn't see Puig working on in 2013 when he broke in. That was a lot of raw ability, shocking the league and setting the world on fire. As he's growing and maturing, working on some of the finer points. On this payoff, Peterson runs and Puig earns a walk. First one issued by Tehran, 2 on with 1 out.
Number 21, Grace Thompson.
Well, that walk, that's what makes this Dodger lineup so hard to go through. A bunch of great hitters, and when they force you into the strike zone, they waylay on it, but when you're not in the strike zone, they pass the baton.
Puig passes it to Thompson, who struck out his first time after getting ahead in the count 3-0. Checks his swing on a strike. That one takes off. 0-2. Dodgers trying to salvage a split in this series after the Braves took the first 2. Hoping to ride Rich Hill to a win tonight and have a chance to split it with Kershaw taking the ball tomorrow. Strike 3 called, and Thompson has struck out both times.
You caught in between. Want to make sure you don't chase the slider, and then it ends up being a fastball low and away perfect.
Fifth one for Tehran tonight. Here's our second look at the new stance of Rich Hill.
Definitely more upright. Definitely has a leg kick.
I think he's got some more swag to it.
I think you need to go access 360 on this swing compared to the other swing in the other game where Rich Hill rakes. Just to show all the different changes. I think Jerry's back in the studio with Alana. That would be a hilarious breakdown. Major changes going on here right in front of our eyes.
The evolution of Rich Hill, the hitter. 2 on with 2 out in a 2-0 game, and Tehran brings him a 1-1. 1-2.
Showing off some bat speed. Now going to work on contact. Probably a little jealous that Clayton Kershaw has a bobblehead night coming in a batting stance. Looks a little bit like Clayton's bobblehead there when he raises the front leg. Oh, he's going back to the old crouch.
Well, 2-strike approach, Earl. 2-2.
He's got a good eye from that crouch.
Because a belt high fastball is eye level.
The funniest part was when he was in this crouch and he tried to bunt from it for a hit, remember? And the ball was like eye high.
Shoots one to third, picked up by Rodriguez. And Hill's the third out. A couple of ground outs for him in this one. Dodgers in front 2-0 after 4.
Love it. Welcome back. Dodgers still with the lead 2-0 here against the Braves. Fans, you definitely want to be here on Monday. It is Justin Turner replica jersey day presented by United Healthcare. Such a fun day to be here for, and this jersey is legit. It looks like a real jersey, guys, so make sure you come on Monday and get yours. You can show it off to all your friends.
I want to get like a XXL and use it as a sleep shirt.
Yeah. That's interesting.
When we get home from the game, you know what I do? I immediately put my comfies on. I get some sweats on and a t-shirt. So if it's nice, feels good, I'll be throwing that t-shirt on for sure.
All right. So now we know Orioles post-game routine.
He's one of my favorite players.
I'm just wondering why you want to wear it to bed, not...
I just want to wear it. I don't wear it to bed. I wear it on the couch as I have a glass of wine and watch the highlights.
9-1-2 for the Braves here in the 5th. Tehran takes strike 1. Tehran struck out his first time. One of the 8 Ks for Rich Hill through the first 4 innings. This is one start after he had 9 strikeouts in 5 innings against Miami. One and two. There were moments where he's going through the blister stuff again, and then the blister healed and he wasn't effective, where you're worrying, you know, maybe he's not going to live up to this big contract that he signed. But over the last month, he has been that guy. Oh, he hits Tehran with a 1-2 pitch.
Yeah, Rich Hill last year was a Dodger. I think he was 3-2 with an ERA under 2. I think about 1.83. He was really dominating throughout baseball, whatever city he was pitching in. We were just waiting last year for the blister to heal to get him in there. Here he catches Tehran just on the foot. It's his landing leg. Of the 2 places to get hit, one leg or the other, you don't want to get hit on the landing leg. That's the one that is where your command is, where your leverage is, that takes the pressure off your arm as you come down the hill.
So back to the top of the order. Here's Ender Inciarte. One and all. Last year, Hill between July 7th and August 24th pitched to 1 batter because of that blister. So that's his final few weeks in Oakland, and then his first few weeks here with the Dodgers.
The blister last year was so big, it was like a wound. I mean, it wasn't just this little blister, oh, how come he can't pitch with that? The one this year was more of an irritation and a blister, but they didn't want it to grow, and it did bother him an awful lot. But it looked like it had a lot better chance of healing, and it did.
Here's the 1-1, and Ciarte takes strike 2. And Hill has voiced his theory that it has to do with the baseball, as many guys around baseball have. And it has become somewhat of an epidemic, this blister problem. David Price, Marcus Stroman, Johnny Cueto, Marco Estrada, Brandon McCarthy. And they all seem to point to the same thing, and that is difference in the laces. Pop fly to right. Yasiel Puig has it for the first out. And then has some fun with Tehran. Have you had a chance to pick up any of the balls this year and compare them to?
Well, it'd be hard for me because I don't throw them on a daily basis or pick them up on a daily basis. But as an active player, yeah, it can be that subtle. I mean, it's going to be hard to believe for the fans, but I could tell mid-career when an umpire took a ball out of his bag and threw it back to me after a foul ball, a new ball. I could tell you while the ball was in the air coming to me if I was going to like it or not, because they were all slightly different sizes. You know, that in a dozen balls back then, there were 3 big ones, three 2 small ones that are like peas, little ones, and then there were like 6 that were all normal. And I didn't like the big one, and I didn't like the peas. I liked the ones that were just a normal, about a half a dozen out of a dozen were just perfect. But after, you know, you get older, you lose your eyes, and you just don't have contact. But that baseball is their livelihood. They know exactly how it feels, how they want it to feel, how they want to rub it up. And you get to know the baseball really, really well. A lot of starters, you see them with baseballs on the bench as they watch the game in between starts.
Camargo pounds one to left center field. That will split the gap and bounce off the wall. Tehran stops at third on a double from Johan Camargo, and the Braves have the tying run in scoring position here in the 5th.
First baseman Freddie Freeman.
Mistakes to pitchers have hurt us in this series. Garcia with the grand slam yesterday, a pop-up that Alex Wood missed of Garcia's. Now hitting Tehran sets the table for the Braves.
And if you're Atlanta, nobody better to have up there than this guy. Freddie Freeman, a strikeout and a walk today. And boy, could Rich Hill use a strikeout here. Freeman so aggressive, hacks the first one foul.
I was thinking just how this count starts might make Dave Roberts put him on, because the guy on deck and Matt Kemp, his last 2 at bats, has grounded out sharply to shortstop, and that would be an easy double play ball.
Got a chance here, 0-2.
Yeah, with it being 0-2 instead of 2-0, I think you get to a 2-0 count. You don't let Rich Hill battle his way back, you put him on. But now here 0-2, he's got 3 pitches, really. He does not have to throw for strikes. Hope that Freeman will chase a bad one.
A fastball grounded to second. This will get home Tehran. Utley throws the hustling Freeman out. A 2-1 game. Too good of a pitch to hit with an 0-2 count.
Yeah, I think both Yasmani and Rich think that was a little too close to the zone. Freeman doesn't want to strike out. He looks like he's in swing mode just to put it in play with the infield back, and you see he stretches the zone. Especially if in your mind that was a setup pitch for another breaking ball, then it was definitely too close.
So now it's Kemp with 2 out, and the tying run 90 feet away in the form of Johan Camargo. Like Oral mentioned, 2 sharp ground outs to short so far. This one's a base hit, and this game is tied. Matt Kemp with an RBI single, and the Braves with 2 here in the 5th to even the issue.
Kemp gets a hit. No strategy would have worked to shut down the Braves offense this inning, because even if you walk Freeman, Kemp comes up and does that. Yes, things change. Reality changes when things in front of it happen, but Matt Kemp showing that he can make an adjustment from the ground balls to short to a line drive to left.
It's only the second time in Rich Hill's last 6 outings that he's given up more than a run. So back to square one. With 2 out, here's Tyler Flowers. He goes after the first pitch and nails a base hit to left as well. Some ringing contact in this inning against Hill.
Right fielder Nick Markakis.
Might get a little visit there as we see Rick Honeycutt starting to move around in the Dodger dugout. Flowers watching all the fastballs on the first pitch that Hill has been throwing. Decides to pick on that first pitch fastball, and Matt Kemp picked on a first pitch curveball.
So the Braves now out hitting the Dodgers 6-5. 3 hits coming in this inning, but really the key moment when Rich Hill hit the pitcher on a 1-2 pitch to open the inning. Dodgers, by the way, have made a move. Sergio Romo has been traded to the Rays for a player to be named later. He had been designated for assignment, and the Dodgers find a deal for him.
Player to be named later or cash, so probably a trade that's about somebody, if he does well and really helps out and contributes, you might have a certain list that you get to choose from, and if he does poorly and doesn't really end the year with them, maybe you get a little lower prospect in return.
2 on, 2 out. Here's Markakis. So Romo finds himself in another playoff race in Tampa Bay. Markakis flips one into center. Jock Peterson is there, and the inning comes to a close. But not before the Braves get 2 to tie it against Hill. Halfway home here in Game 3. Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Get the Toyota truck of your dreams at Toyota's Summer Drive Sales Event. Sun setting and another beautiful night in Los Angeles. Dodgers and Braves tied it 2. New life for Julio Teheran. So he'll take the pain that came with a hit by pitch to start the top of this inning, sparking that 2-run rally. Chase Utley's solo homer accounted for the Dodgers' second run after Corey Seager hit a solo shot of his own in the first. For Utley, number 6 on the year. 1-0. A pop-up. Inciarte. One gone.
Test your mettle a little bit here. Them tying this game up at 2s. Lost 2 games in a row. Now tied 2-2. Longest losing streak of the year is 3. Dave Roberts talking about before the game, we need to turn the page and get on track.
First one to Corey Seager is cut on and miss. Struck out his last time after homering his first time. Hit it 433 feet, the longest Dodger Stadium home run of Corey Seager's young career. Bottom of the zone, strike 2.
The very bottom of the zone. Corey Seager is a big man.
A pop up into short center. Inciarte has this one as well, and 2 up and 2 down. Here's a relatively recent trivia question for you. What is the longest home run here this year by a Dodger? It's not an easy one.
Is it somebody who's still here?
Not on the 25-man roster.
Yeah, that's what
right
I was
now.
thinking.
Actually, longest this year overall for the Dodgers and longest this year in this ballpark. 2 different guys, neither of whom are still here. Bellinger pops it up. 3 flyouts to center. You can think about it over the break, and we'll give you the answer when we go to the 6th. Over the first 4 innings before the Braves got to him last inning to tie this game at 2. That's where it is as we go to the 6th. Rich Hill against Julio Teheran in this one. We look at our Rocket Arms, brought to you by Quicken Loans.
Both these guys have thrown the ball very well. Teheran, the 2 home runs by the left-handed hitters Seager and Utley. And then Rich Hill kind of setting the table and letting them back in the game. His stuff hasn't changed. He just made a few mistakes.
He's thrown 86 pitches and back out there for the 6th inning with the bottom part of the order coming up. Rodriguez, Swanson, and Teheran. Dodgers trying to snap this mini losing streak as Rodriguez takes ball one. First time they've lost back-to-back games since the Nationals took 2 from them in early June. The season-long losing streak is 3. A check swing fly ball to center. Peterson's got it. 1 out. All the remarkable things this season, that's up there. The longest losing streak is 3 games.
Remarkable streak right now is the last 5 outs recorded in this game are by the center fielder.
You're right. Swanson has K'd both times. 2 for his last 37 now.
It's like when you were a little kid and you didn't have enough players, you would make one of the outfield positions automatic out.
Right.
Couldn't hit it there. Center field is it.
Swanson searching. Grandal will throw him out. Nice catch by Cody Bellinger down at first, with Swanson making the fundamental play of running the inside of the base path.
Volkswagen replay as we take a look at this bunt attempt that just kind of lays out there like an egg. Yasmani does a nice job creating an angle, getting deeper into fair territory, but then the throw goes up the line, and there's Cody Bellinger a little bit of risk there.
So Hill gets the first 2 outs of the inning on just 3 pitches, and Julio Teheran looks at ball 1. Hit by a pitch to start last inning and ignite the 2 runs for the Braves to tie the score. 1-1.
Nice catch right there from Yasmani. Takes a really strong and disciplined hand to hold that ball in the strike zone.
Fly to right center on 5 pitches. Rich Hill, 1, 2, 3, 6. A tie game to the bottom half. Now we look at the calendar, brought to you by 76. One more with these Braves, and then the Twins are here Monday through Wednesday. Off day Thursday. And the Giants Friday through Sunday to complete this 10-game homestand.
If you're the Twins and you're trading for Julio Garcia, why have him get on a plane with the Braves and leave here? Make the trade before Sunday night.
Trade fell through with Jaime Garcia, so they're instead trading for Julio.
Sorry.
Split allegiance.
Wow.
He looks so torn.
He didn't make the choice.
Julio Teheran back out there for the 6th inning in a 2-2 game. The Dodgers led this game on home runs from Seager and Utley. And the Braves tied it with 2 in the 5th against Hill. Yasmani Grandal, 4, 5, and 6 for the Dodgers. Switch hitter from his more powerful side. On the first pitch of the sixth, he takes ball one. One for two tonight. Hitting above 300 since the All-Star break. Little number along third. This is a swinging bunt. Base hit for Grandal. Couldn't have rolled it out there any better than that.
Bob Guerin would be so proud, but this is not what they work on early. They actually work on squaring around and pushing it that way to beat the shift, but this one is absolutely perfect. Way out in front. Hit it out there like it's a cue stick on a pool table.
A lot of times you do that and the English will make it spin foul. Not this time. Not for Grandal. And the go-ahead run is aboard to open the sixth. Logan Forsythe has struck out both times against Tehran tonight. Strike one. Started off as some really bad luck for Logan in Miami to open this second half. Has kind of snowballed into a rough start to the second half. 3 for 22. Barely misses. Ball one. Forsythe whacks a base hit to left. 2 on with nobody out in the sixth.
Well, this is a little bit of the Dodger offense we have come to expect. No matter what part of the order we're in. Starting with the forward hitter, Grandal hits a little cue shot and gets lucky, but there's no luck with that base hit.
Jock Peterson got his first hit since last Saturday in Miami, his last time off. First and second, nobody out. The first one to Peterson. Half-hearted swing and a miss, nothing in one.
That happens when you realize you are fooled, but it's too late to check your swing.
The 0-1 paints the outside corner for strike two. Or Peterson at the very least trying to move the runners up with nobody out. Tehran has him in an 0-2 hole in a 2-2 game in the sixth. The little things against the best pitchers. The 0-2. Turns on it, hard hit to second. Camargo goes to Swanson, 1, and they turn 2. Can't hit it much harder, but it was right at Johan Camargo to start a double play.
This is an absolute bullet. He did a great job getting on top of an 0-2 fastball. A lot of times you're looking for a swing and miss as a pitcher or a pop-up. Jock killed that ball.
And so a 2 gone and a tie game here in the sixth inning. It'll be up to Yasiel Puig. Some of the people around the Dodgers thinking that clutch home run to beat Miami in the first game of the second half could be a seminal moment for Yasiel Puig when it comes to the big moments. He has not been great in his career in clutch situations. but in one of the biggest spots, came through. You could almost see the weight of those moments lifting off his shoulders as he rounded the bases in Miami. Go ahead run at third. 2 gone in the 6th. Then Teheran to Puig with the first pitch. Ball 1.
An event like that can permeate a locker room too, because you can get a reputation in the media or with the fan base that you can't perform under the clutch and you need to hit in the 8-hole because you get too excited in big moments. But when you come through and then your teammates start believing in you, it'll calm you down completely in the moments. Then you know you have the support. You're not fighting against the tide.
Seems to really be seeing Julio Teheran well, and has throughout his career. Tonight, a single and a walk. Overall, 6 for 11 with a home run against the man on the mound. He fires a 2-0 pitch. Puig hits one softly. This could be a tough play. The Dodgers get the lead as the ball hits off Flowers' glove. Puig on his way to second. Throw down is late, and the Dodgers lead it 3-2. A break goes their way here in the 6th, and Grandal scores the go-ahead run.
A swinging bunt from Grandal, a swinging bunt from Yasiel Puig. Grandal becomes the third base coach. Chris Woodward's a coach, George Lombard's a coach, but after he scores and jarring the ball loose, he becomes a coach and tells Yasmani to get down there to second. Got the landing gear down early and made it in there safely.
So the Dodgers in front 3-2, and Trace Thompson the batter with Puig at second and 2 out. Wondering how they're going to rule that.
Base hit, RBI, E2.
Okay, allowing Puig to take second. Thompson fouls back 93. So an RBI single for Yasiel Puig, who has reached all 3 times tonight. 2 swinging bunts get the Dodgers back in front of Julio Teheran and the Braves.
It's an interesting RBI, because if the ball is caught and he would have been out,
right?
I'm not sure how you get the E2 on just the runner going to second.
I thought the first look at that replay kind of caught me off guard that it may have been close with Grandal's foot kind of sliding under.
Yeah, you could check the replay to see when the ball hits the leather, is it going to be able to hit the body and get him out, and then you could start to determine on the RBI and the error.
Could be wrong, but I just thought on the replay it was much closer to him being in there regardless than it looked in real time. Puig's going to take off, and Thompson hits it foul. All right, take a look.
He's out.
You're right.
He's out, so I'm not understanding the RBI. I'd love Yasiel to get another RBI, but if the ruling is error, then unless there's something rule with official scores about assuming a tag and assuming a call at the plate.
Jerry White, our official scorer tonight. Puig gets second with 2 gone, and Thompson hits another foul.
Trace's last at bat, he ended up striking out looking at a fastball slightly away. It looks like right now he's not going to try and determine is it a fastball or slider and get fooled that way. He's going to just protect.
Puig with a delayed steal this time. He's in there safely. That was a straight steal.
And he caught everybody off guard, and you better make sure you make it with 2 outs, and he made it easily.
A 1-2 again, and Thompson down on strikes again. 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. But the Dodgers jump back in front. A little bit of good fortune. Yasiel Puig credited with an RBI. Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Dodgers back in front 3-2, and Rich Hill back to the mound thanks to the 5-pitch 6th. Didn't look like the 7th would be an option, but here he is to face the top of the order for Atlanta. Ender Inciarte takes ball 1. Hey, we posed that trivia question and then failed to actually answer it. I feel bad, but we're going to make up for it here and give you the answers. Longest home run by a Dodger this year belongs to Brett Eibner. Hit a 464-foot shot at Coors Field. The longest home run by a Dodger here this year, Franklin Gutierrez, off Matt Moore, 447 feet. And then Corey Seager's tonight, 433. Longest of Seager's career in this yard. Hill's falling behind 3-0. Inciarte not happy with that one.
Inciarte held up 3 fingers like that's the 3rd time that's happened, but I think Rich Hill just hadn't found his release point here at this point. There's no way he's head hunting at any time, and especially in a 2-0 count with a 1-run lead. Sometimes the adrenal gland can enhance the reaction.
Is that the one that secretes adrenaline, Doctor?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know. I've just heard that.
A 3-0 with Inciarte feeling uncomfortable right now, you'd figure, with those 3 pitches buzzing the tower. 3-1. Don't want to let Inciarte reach. You don't want to let any leadoff man reach, but he can really move. In the slimmest of margins here in the 7th. Hill back home with a 3-1. Oh, filthy movement. Sweeps in, full count.
The ball at Inciarte in the 2-0 count reminded me of the story that Rick Monday told us in the food room today when we were reading about the first at bat coming back after getting hit in the face. He decided he was going to swing the very first pitch and got a base hit, and that got rid of all the fear.
Softly hit. Rich Hill aggressively gets it. Whips it sidearm to get in Ciarte. 1 out.
It's a nice play coming off the mound. And with the Morongo slow-mo cam replay, you'll get to see the dismount. I think he flips on his back. Yeah, there it is, the dismount. Not real good. I thought the floor program was really good until this point right about here. He just couldn't finish the program.
So what do you give him?
I don't know. This will even be a better look. You can be the judge at home. Whoa, oh! No, I don't think he's supposed to end up all the way flipping over.
He got the out, Oral, and he got 6 1/3 with the lead. Give him a 10.
July 26th, when the Dodgers play host to the Twins at 7:10. The first 40,000 fans in attendance will receive a Clayton Kershaw bobblehead, courtesy of Pirelli Tire. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Chris Taylor's in left field. And Pedro Baez in the game, 3-2, 7th inning.
Well-rested Pedro Baez. Kenley Jansen will be ready for this game, and this is laying out just the way Rick Honeycutt and Dave Roberts would like it. Rich Hill going deep, giving him a chance to win, and now you get into some of the big arms of the bullpen.
Two-hitter, Johan Camargo. Fastball is in, ball 1. 2 more doubles tonight for Camargo. 5 hits total this weekend. Only 23 years old out of Panama. Bright future for the Braves. Fouls it back, 1-1. Two and 1. Popped it up. Chris Taylor can't find it. Now does. 2 out. Oh.
We've had enough balls in the air dropped in this series. We don't need any more in a tight game here.
It is the same exact time of night that Alex Wood lost his pop-up last night.
Yeah, Cody Bellinger didn't see one in this sky. Alex Wood was then the intended one to catch it, but did not. Cost the Dodgers 2 unearned runs and really started to unfold that game yesterday.
With the bases empty and 2 outs, Freddie Freeman 0 for 2 against Hill tonight. Takes ball 1. When you get rid of the 7 weeks that he missed with a fractured wrist, it has been an MVP caliber season for the Orange County native. He's 27 years old. He's in his 7th year as an everyday big leaguer now. And the 2-time All-Star pulls one to first off a bounce. Bellinger with a backhand, impressing a fellow first baseman and finish him off to finish the top of the 7th. We stretch at Dodger Stadium with the Dodgers in front, 3-2. By Mercedes-Benz, Sean Newcomb goes for Atlanta, and Clayton Kershaw with his 15-2 record and a 2.07 ERA goes for the Dodgers, and they hope that he's pitching for a series split.
That would be great. The Dodgers don't want to lose this series. They need to finish off tonight, and then handing the ball to the ace of the last 10 years across baseball would be a real good shot at splitting the series.
Many prettier shots than that one right there as Chris Taylor gets ready to lead off the bottom of the 7th for the Dodgers.
Only for defenders that are looking for the ball up there.
That's true. We all like this time of night. Chris Taylor and those that have to catch pop-ups this time of night prefer it to be bright or dark. Not this in-between kind of light. Strike 1 on Taylor. Came in a double switch, so he's in the 9 spot. Utley and Seager to follow against Julio Teheran. Taylor corks a fly ball to deep right center field. Chris Taylor is out of this world. Just keeps on living this dream.
He hits it up in the sky where he was having trouble seeing pop-ups. He hits this so far, it doesn't matter if the Atlanta outfielders can see it or not. They're not going to have an opportunity to catch this one. Stays on that ball away and hits it hard away.
The guy is unbelievable. Second opposite field home run of the week for Chris Taylor. Third of the game for the Dodgers against Tehran, and now strike one on Chase Utley. One career home run before this season. And he has continued to be one of the top hitters, not just in this lineup, but you've got to start to put him into the category of the top hitters in the National League with what he's doing this year. The average at .308 now with a dozen homers.
Dave Roberts fires one of the bullets from his bench, and it comes through. Oh yeah, he's got Justin Turner over there too for any other situations, or Austin Barnes or Kike Hernandez.
Tehran to Utley with a 1-1 pitch. It's outside, ball 2.
It's one of the amazing things about this Dodger team, that when he gives people a day off, they don't usually get a complete day off. They are a weapon that he can call on. And it just shows you how deep and how strong this team is.
Who would have thought, though, that we'd find a day where we'd look at the lineup and say, huh, no Chris Taylor today.
That's true. Especially when you were missing Justin Turner a little under the weather.
3-1.
Same way we would think, oh, no Cody Bellinger today.
Oklahoma City's got no shot. Oh, wait. Austin Barnes congratulating Rich Hill on another solid outing. On 3-1, Chase Utley cuts and misses, 3-2. Digs that one out. Camargo ranges over, staggers, and throws just in time.
Chase Utley never thinks about letting up. Even when the ball hits the glove, he continues to run hard and makes this into a very close play. Right about here, you feel some disappointment. But then when he can't get up, still got a chance.
And that is going to do it for Julio Tehran, and that's because Corey Seager is due next, who's homered against him tonight and hit 3 home runs total against him over the last year into that Atlanta bullpen in a 4-2 game in the 7th. Here plays of the game brought to you by Arco. 3 solo home runs. Corey Seager started it, and Chase Utley. Then Chris Taylor to lead off this inning, putting the Dodgers in front 4-2. Now Sam Freeman out of the Atlanta bullpen for Corey Seager.
On 3 days rest, coming out there to keep this game close. Left on left situation, but Corey Seager does not care what hand you throw with. He will be a very tough out and hits for power off of lefties and righties.
Sam Freeman got off to a good start this year, but has given up 6 runs over his last 4 appearances, spanning only 3 2/3. So 6 runs in his last 3 2/3. He pours in a strike. 0-1.
Freeman against lefties will throw a pretty even split between fastballs and sliders. He'll mix in a change here and there, but only about 5% of the time. So Corey can look hard and look for an area that he wants the ball.
.97 from the left side.
That's in the upper range for him. He averages around 94.
Strikes him out looking at 96, and Seager the second out.
Corey must have had a tough time picking him up right there. He's usually very aggressive when he gets a strike. You don't see him take like that, or maybe he was looking for a slider and got all heaters.
Tough luck for Bellinger in this one. Lined to short and then grounded to short, but really hit 2 bullets up the middle. And just happened to find Dansby Swanson, who was positioned there. Strike 1.
And Cody wants to try another position. 6 at 4-3 is not what he's looking for.
Healthy cut here, 0-2. Freeman living at the upper end of his range. 97, 96, 97. 1-0-2. Bellinger pulls one that nobody will grab. Got that one over the shift for a 2-out single.
He's wearing out the right side today. This one, instead of being a line drive out or a ground ball out in that same area, gets the ball elevated and gets himself a base hit.
And it brings up Grandal, who for the first time tonight will bat right-handed. 2 singles from the left side, neither of which left the infield. Wonder how many times in Yasmani Grandal's career he has 2 infield singles.
I would bet you this is a rare occasion.
Last one was a big one. Swinging cue shot up along third that put him on to open the 6th. Then he eventually scored the tie-breaking run. He was at third with 2 out. Puig hit another swinging bunt. Tehran fielded it, threw it home. Grandal would have been out, but Flowers, the catcher, dropped the ball, and the Dodgers got the go-ahead run. 1-1.
Lately starting to see some results from all the work that he put in the offseason for his right-handed swing. Slow start to the year, but in the last 2 or 3 weeks, the right-handed swing has looked much better and getting some results.
Dave Roberts called him one of the first 2 or 3 days after last season ended and said, look, we need you to be a guy that can be in there against either side, which meant he needed to improve that right-handed swing. Bounces it gently to Swanson at short. They get the out at second. The inning is over, but the inning begins with a Chris Taylor home run, and after 7 at Dodger Stadium, it's 4-2. Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by BMW. See a Southern California BMW Center today for exceptional offers or visit SoCalBMW.com. Well, against this Braves lineup that's proven to be potent over the first two nights of this series, that home run from Chris Taylor sure does make things feel a lot more comfortable than it would have in a 3-2 game. As it is, a 2-run lead for Pedro Baez as the Dodgers try to get their first win of this series.
Really comfortable with that home run, and especially a Pedro Baez on the mound on 3 days rest. You've got a rested Kenley Jansen in the bullpen whenever he is needed on 3 days rest. And so the two key components to the end of the game, setting up and closing, rested and ready to go to finish this one off.
Now Kemp leads it off with the middle third of the Braves order here. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Tied the game with an RBI single in that 2-run 5th inning against Rich Hill. The Dodgers striking back with single runs in the 6th and the 7th. That's ball 1 on the Midwest City, Oklahoma native, Matt Kemp. Kenley Jansen starts to get ready.
Kenley's only thrown 39 pitches in a ball game over the last 7 days, so sharp and ready.
1-1.
Of course, Dave Roberts and Rick Honeycutt not afraid of the 4-out save with Kenley. That's why he's up here to start the inning.
Kemp fouls it off 1-2. He's actually a bigger basketball player than he was a baseball player for much of his life in Oklahoma. Won a couple state championships, averaged 20 points per game for the Midwest City team. It wasn't until his senior year of high school that he really put his full attention on baseball. Baez pumps him a 1-2, and a slider's low and away to even the count up. Off of the glove, and it stays 2-2. Mentioned earlier that Matt Kemp in Midwest City, Oklahoma, actually grew up a Braves fan. That's the power of TBS. Like a lot of people around the country seem to be Cubs fans, the power of WGN. Those games being broadcasted nationally. Matt would race home from school, flip the game on. Favorite player was David Justice. On a 2-2. Another one just barely hit by Kemp and off of Grandal's glove.
He picked a good one when he picked David Justice. Very good, powerful left-handed hitter. Great clutch hitter.
After fouling off a pair, he strikes out as Pedro breaks something off for the first out of the 8th.
Little slider, but you can tuck your little leaguer into bed with a specialty made Dodger pillowcase presented by High Chew, available to the first 12,000 kids 14 and under in attendance tomorrow when the Dodgers host these Braves. Try and salvage a split if they can get this W. That's a 1:10 game tomorrow. Don't forget that game time, and for tickets visit dodgers.com/promotions.
Tonight, 47,497. A lot of people and a lot of noise. Been a fantastic atmosphere here, where the Dodgers have the best record in baseball at 39-13. They've won 18 of their last 21 home games. Tyler Flowers sees a first pitch slider, strike 1. again.
As Tyler Flowers' average goes up, the pitch selection from the battery changes. A couple back-to-back sliders. I'll bet you with his old swing, he didn't get back-to-back sliders from a guy who can throw almost 100 miles an hour. The league will adjust back.
After the 2 sliders, what does he go to? 0-2. Another slider and a ground ball to short. Corey Seager, 2 up, 2 down.
Right fielder number 22, Nick Markakis.
And with the bases empty and a 2-run lead, no need for a 4-out save from Kenley Jansen at this point. It's Baez for Markakis.
Rodriguez on deck. If Markakis reaches, maybe you see Kenley, but Baez gets him out. Kenley will just get the 3 in the 9th unless the Dodgers come up with a handful in their half of the 8th.
Which it seems like they've done an inordinate amount of times this year and kind of notified the need for Jansen.
Yeah, he's lost some save opportunities, maybe 4 or 5. I remember one where they scored a lot of runs. They put a whole bunch of snacks in his locker to say, we're sorry, the offense came through so late, you didn't get your opportunity.
A strike on Markakis. I think he'll take the runs any day, though. He'll take the candy, too. Single and a walk tonight for Markakis. Dribbled in front of the plate. Impressive stuff, Pedro Baez. On to the bottom of the 8th for the Dodgers in front 4-2, trying to get their first win of this series. Aw.
Post game presented by your Southern California Nissan dealers. Is that Alana Rizzo with a catcher's mask on over there? I can't tell what's happening. This might be a little scary post game. Just a warning, guys.
That's awesome.
When you're that close to Jerry, you need a mask.
Here's Logan Forsythe, the lead off the bottom of the 8th for the Dodgers, up 4-2. Does Jerry have a problem of spraying and not saying? Or
yeah, because that ball was in his hand, so Alana's probably like, I better put a mask on. But you know, now Alana gets to get pampered again because she'll have to have her makeup touched up after that mask was on her face.
You would do the same?
No.
Sam Freeman pitched part of the 7th and begins the 8th with a strike to Forsythe. Base hit his last time. 0-2.
A few more of those change-ups right there when you have a right-handed hitter up. We saw him attack Corey Seager with a lot of heaters.
Overthrows something here, and it's 1-2. Sixth big league year with his fourth different team, and his fourth different team in the last 4 seasons. 3 years with the Cardinals. His last year there was 2014, then 2015 with the Rangers, last year with the Brewers, and now this year with the Braves. Forsythe, it's a bouncing ball to Swanson at short. 1 out in the 8th. Now with the lefty on the mound, Dave Roberts pulling the trigger of using Kike Hernandez here. He has been really good against lefties this year, especially lately.
He really has been swinging a hot bat. Most of his opportunities come off a lefty, so swinging the bat really well, seeing the ball to the left-hander's hand. There might be a counter move here.
Brian Snitker comes out. He's going to call down and bring Luke Jackson into the game after Hernandez was introduced, and he knows the track record for Kike against left-handed pitching, and so he'll bring on the righty. Years old out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Former first-round pick of the Rangers. Now with the Braves, and on to face Kike Hernandez in a 4-2 game in the 8th.
Well, Kike has been hot off of lefties. The moves made to counteract, and you see the statistics right there. Gained about 100 points in batting average, bringing in the right-hander.
Off speed, ball 1. Looking ahead to the 9th inning against Jansen, bottom third of the order for the Braves. They do have Matt Adams available off their bench. Good cut, fouled back, 1-1.
Hitters will tell you when they're seeing the ball well and swinging it, they don't care who's throwing. And I think that's where Kike is in his life right now. It doesn't matter righty or lefty. He's feeling really good about being up at the plate.
Good call, Hershiser. Pinch hit single, Kike Hernandez against a right-handed pitcher. Our Lexus play of the game is kind of a funky one. The Dodgers have 4 runs in this game, 3 off solo shots, one on this play to break a 2-2 tie in the 6th.
It was very fortunate for the Dodgers. Grandal got a Q-shot base hit. Puig gets 1-2. Hustles down there to second. This was the play that really started to change this game. The other thing that started to change is the fact you can bring Pedro Baez in after Rich Hill, and he has done very well also.
Puig has reached all 3 times on the day where he put in extra time working with Turner Ward. Pumps the first one foul. Strike 1.
A good portion of the batting practice earlier today with Turner Ward was on pitches like that. They worked him away, they worked him in, and they were working on his approach, his first move when he reads the ball away or in.
Last round of pitches from Ward, all in. Really working on him getting those hands in. That's where guys have started to pretty much live against him, or at least try to, and he's trying to find that muscle memory. They're working on it about 2:30 this afternoon. Comes in on him. Little jam shot that Freddie Freeman will catch. Austin Barnes will bat with 2 gone. So Barnes pinch hitting for Trace Thompson, or actually in the pitcher's spot here with the double switch from earlier.
Dave Roberts using his most versatile piece off the bench here with Austin Barnes and your backup catcher, so he's really maneuvering hard to make sure that Justin Turner gets a complete day off.
One and one. Turner just dealing with some congestion, upper respiratory kind of thing that Dave Roberts wanted to make sure on a really hot evening he was off his feet and out of the element, staying hydrated. The check swing foul, and it's 1-2. But still in the building, and if Dave Roberts needed him, you know, Turner would be ready.
Players always want to push through that stuff, but Dave, with what the Dodgers have built the lead right now and where they are with a day game tomorrow, making the prudent call of making sure that the all-star third baseman is rested.
Be interesting to see tomorrow, with it being very hot, 1 o'clock. Turner's able to get back in there. You know that he'll battle to be.
Well, especially with Clayton Kershaw on the mound, you want to be there for your warrior. He pays the price for him every 5th day and helps carry this team most of the way, most of the time. So everybody on the roster would love to be available for Clayton.
Here comes a 2-2 to Barnes, and he pokes it foul. Just in case Austin Barnes gets a hold of one, Brandon Morrow has joined Kenley Jansen. Another 2-2. If you've not been yet this year, you've got to get out here to Dodger Stadium. The environments have just been awesome. Trying to get their 40th win in this park in 53 games so far this year. Barnes fouls another. That's 3 in a row. This would be their 19th if they could get it out of the last 22 at home.
Averaging almost 45,000 people are the Dodgers here at home this year. Going in tonight, 2,326,000 have come to the games.
A little flare to left center field. Enciarte won't get there. And a base hit for Barnes. Pinch hitting here in the 8th.
The Dodger offense has hit the ball out of the ballpark, and they also have caught a few breaks here tonight. A couple of swinging bunts that helped them get a run. This little bleeder sets the table with Austin Barnes' full cut. Hit it like he had a wet newspaper in his hands, but it falls in.
And it brings up Taylor, who went opposite field with a home run to lead off the 7th inning. And his lone at bat of the night. Two-run game in the 8th, 2 on with 2 out. And Taylor lashes one into right center field. Sit down, Kenley Jansen. Get warm, Brandon Morrow. Chris Taylor has a 2-run triple.
He didn't start the game, but he's got the 2 portions of the cycle that are the hardest already. And he's not going to get an opportunity the way it looks, a 4-run lead, because of his power from the home run for 1 run and his double in the gap for 2 more. Chris Taylor continues to impress, no matter how few the opportunities are on some nights.
Kenley hurt us. It was a 3-2 game, and then Chris Taylor happened. Solo homer, 2-run triple. His average now at 310.
Kenley with 3 days rest could have probably told Dave Roberts, I'd still like to have the inning, but with a day game tomorrow, quick turnaround, probably doesn't want it because he wants to be fresh at 1 o'clock tomorrow, or maybe by about 3:30 by the time we get to the 8th or 9th inning for him. So now Brandon Morrow will get ready for the 9th.
It's not a bad fallback option.
No. It's a firmer fallback option.
Sure is.
But not as effective.
Well, that's no knock on Brandon.
No. It's a real high bar that Kenley sets.
Utley goes the other way. Matt Kemp cruises to it. And the inning is over, but the Dodgers double the lead and a triple from Chris Taylor onto the 9th. or at least a new sticker to cover up part of it. Chris Taylor driven in 3, home run and a 2-run triple. And the lead is now 6-2, so Brandon Morrow instead of Kenley Jansen.
Brandon Morrow comes in, and this is a very effective arm the Dodgers have really stumbled upon. Great scouting, come back from injury, used to be a starter and now throws even harder as a reliever and is becoming a very consistent part of this #1 bullpen in the National League.
Brandon Morrow did some big-time stuff early on in his career before the injuries. You know, he made his debut when he was 22, less than 1 year after he was drafted. 2 picks ahead of Clayton Kershaw. In his first major league start, Morrow took a no-hitter into the 8th inning against the Yankees. Lost it with 2 outs in the 8th and a pinch hit single from Wilson Bettamy, of all people. The flashes of absolute dominance for him. He's recaptured some in his new role. Bottom third of the order for the Braves. Rodriguez to lead off the 9th. Strike 1. 2010, which was Morrow's first year in Toronto and his first year as a full-time starter, he fell 1 out shy of a no-hitter. So he took a no-hitter into the 8th inning in his first career start, and a couple of years later into the 9th. Blows a couple by Rodriguez, and it's 0-2. Evan Longoria hit an infield single with 2 outs in the 9th inning to keep Brandon Morrow from a no-hitter. Finished off a complete game 1-hit shutout that day. On 3 fastballs, he makes Rodriguez a memory.
And it is a fastball. It is the highest velocity fastball coming out of the Dodger bullpen. Even higher than Pedro Baez's fastball. One is averaging 97.1 and Morrow is averaging 97.3 miles an hour.
So have fun, Dansby Swanson, who's trying to break out of a 2 for 38 slump. Really choking up to begin the at-bat. Fouls it off, 100, strike 1.
If you're going to average 97.3, you got to throw a few at 100 to balance out the 96s. I wish I would have just thrown 1 at that, just to see what it feels like.
Do you know what the highest you ever touched was?
94.
Okay.
Like maybe 4 pitches my whole big league career.
Did it feel any different on the 94s?
You know what feels different? Not the delivery, not, you know, the ball, and you realize the sound. You know when it leaves your hand, and then the sound, and you can detect there's a difference, and that's how I could always tell when I was throwing harder, by mile an hour or 2 or 3.
The pop of the mitt?
The pop of the mitt, and when it happened, just is that slight difference in timing.
You know what's a cool thing to do is, if you ever have a chance to stand near or above a bullpen,
oh yeah,
while guys are warming up like Morrow, and you get that pop echoing throughout the pen,
it's worth the walk when you see the bullpen start to get active, no matter where you're sitting in the stadium, to try and mosey on over there. And you've got some nice overhangs here at Dodger Stadium to do that on either the visiting side or the home side.
.110 tomorrow. Clayton Kershaw.
That's where you can sneak up and take a glance into the bullpen there. And listen. And a nice view.
And a cup of tea, too.
How do you start it early enough and still make sure it's going to be a strike? That's why you see hitters swing at such a wide array of locations when guys throw really hard. It's a fine line between getting there on time and swinging at a strike.
A 2-2. Got in on him, and a little pop-up that Corey Seager will put away. The Braves down to their final out. Good response from the Dodgers tonight.
Avoiding tying their season high losing streak of 3, so they'll stay at 2 with one more out and move on to starting a winning streak, hopefully.
And even if you include in the 2 losses, this will be the 32nd win in their last 38 games.
Still hot.
Yeah. Matt Adams pinch hitting. Ball 1.
Pretty good chance of starting a winning streak and continuing it with the guy on the mound tomorrow. Mr. Clayton Kershaw, who is 15-2.
One and one on Adams. I'm doing my math right. If the Dodgers were to go 500 from here on out, they would finish with 99 wins.
That would be coasting to the finish line. They'd probably win the division by at least 6 or 7.
On 2-1. Strike 2.
It'd be interesting to see the Atlanta lineup tomorrow against Clayton because they're hot hitters. You know, Matt Adams doesn't play against lefties much. Inciarte, their hot leadoff hitter, is left-handed. Clayton should give him a hard time. Markakis, Freddie Freeman, both left-handed. They'll really have a chance to have a nice outing if you're Clayton and you're on your game.
Adams strokes a fly ball to left. Chris Taylor is there, and the Dodgers back to their winning ways. 6-2 the final in this one, and they'll have a chance at a series split with Kershaw on the mound tomorrow.
6 runs, some of them achieved with the power, some of them achieved with good fortune, but a nice clean game to get them back onto their winning ways.
So the Dodgers now 67-31. They've won 32 of their last 38 games. Finale tomorrow. Roar Hershiser, Kelly Tennant, and the rest of our crew. Joe Davis saying so long from Dodger Stadium. Access Sportsnet, brought to you by your Southern California Nissan dealers, begins now.